The second wave of COVID 19 has been devastating. The system's apathy and gross mismanagement has left us struggling for breath. But thankfully, all is not lost yet. We've seen innumerable faceless, nameless heroes who've come forward to help those desperately scrambling for basics and who've restored our faith in humanity yet again. Doctors, nurses, journalists, mental health practitioners, volunteers, drivers, delivery staff, to our local kirana wala. I'm sure I'm forgetting many others. We owe a great deal to them because without their selfless services, we wouldn't have made it thus far. Different Strokes is proud to have had this opportunity to speak to a few of these COVID heroes who have been working relentlessly by putting themselves and their families at a serious risk of infection. We couldn't thank them enough. But I hope through this series, we're able to tell them how grateful we are to each one of them. In this podshot, I speak to Dr. Srinivas, who's a radio oncologist at a government hospital in Chandigarh. He hasn't seen his family for 6 months now, but he's still hopeful that we will defeat this virus one day and emerge stronger. How has this pandemic changed your life?
Before I used to see patient with stage 1 and stage 2, most of them in early stage disease. So
Right.
nowadays I see patients coming with a very huge disease, the stage 4 disease, where the chance of cure is very less. So
Right.
all these neglected cases are mainly because of this pandemic, patients not able to visit hospitals, they're not moving out of their house. So as a person, yes, definitely I suffered a lot because I stay in Chandigarh, my family stays in different state.
Right.
I'm not able to meet my family. And yes, of course, I don't want to meet my family right now because my parents are elderly parents. I don't want to expose them for the virus because I work in a hospital. So there is a more chance of me getting into any infection.
I wanted to ask you, how long have you not seen your family?
Yeah, it's more than 6 months. Right now, I'm living alone. Even my wife is also staying in Bangalore. One thing I've learned is I'm doctor mainly because of my patients. So as long as I see patients, I'm mentally fine.
Do you think we, on the part of the state as well and the center, do you think we were lacking preparation as well? We lost a lot of precious time.
We could have did better. We could have managed more beds, more oxygen supplies. That was lacking actually. So because we know as the number of patients are increasing, we need more beds. I'll give an example. In our hospital, we are like shifting each and surgery ward, medicine ward, we are shifting all those ward into COVID ward. So day by day, we are increasing the beds. The thing is, other patients are going to suffer because of this. So all the surgery, all the elective surgeries are not happening. All the elective patients are not being seen in OPDs because all the OPDs have been shut. So because of this infection, other patients are suffering and we don't have a particular separate wards for COVID. So we have to shift, we have to convert medicine, surgical ward into a COVID ward.
I am also seeing, there are lots of videos that doctors are posting on social media, and there's obviously reports in the media as well that doctors are under tremendous pressure and a lot of stress. What do you think would help the doctors in this situation as an immediate help and as a long-term help?
As an immediate help, people should understand that they should maintain proper distancing, they should use the mask, they should help doctors in all these things. If they do all these basic things properly, so we'll be more than happy. Out of the city areas, nobody is wearing masks, nobody is maintaining distancing. You must be seeing in news each and every day, some melas are happening, some function is happening. There are thousands of gatherings happening in villages and all. People should avoid all these things. And they should understand one thing. As a doctor, it's very difficult to wear that PPE kit and one kit for minimum of 6 hours. They cannot drink water, they cannot use anything, and it will be 3 layers PPE kit and a lot of sweating. People do faint during work. There's so many other issues people they don't understand outside this healthcare facilities. So there are so many issues. We need more healthcare staffs. We need more facilities. From government, I need to ask only one thing. So just increasing the number of doctors and nurses not going to help anything. They have to improve the infrastructure of the hospital facilities. That is the main thing. They're not even coming to the hospital. See, the patients are not decreasing, but they're not coming to the hospitals. So there are so many cardiac arrest patients. There are so many brain injury damage patients. They're dying at their home. They're not even visiting the hospitals. So we think the patients are reduced. Patients are not reduced, but they're not visiting the hospitals. That is the only difference.
What has been the most frustrating incident or thing in this entire 1.5 years that you've seen? What frustrates you the most?
Yeah. The one main thing is, I see patient each and every day. So I had to admit few patients because they'll come with a lot of complications and a lot of other symptoms. So I'm not able to admit even a single patient. All our ward, it has been converted into the COVID ward. So these are the side effects. These are the most frustrating time because I'm not able to admit anybody. All these patients are suffering because of this pandemic. Anyways, as a administration, as a government, we cannot help and we cannot do anything right now because within a short period of time, we cannot build a new hospital particularly for COVID. We had to convert the existing one into the COVID wards. This was supposed to happen, but still it is frustrating.
Are you still hopeful, Dr. Srinivas?
Yeah, we have to be hopeful. Without hope, you cannot live further.
Right.
Hope is the only thing that keeps us to work every day.
Right. And risk your lives every day. There's so much.
This is our profession. This is my profession. I have to work every day. I cannot sit at home seeing patients dying in hospitals.
Right. No, that's incredible spirit, I must say, and thank you very much for whatever you're doing. I think we owe a great deal to all the doctors and frontline medical staff, whoever is out there risking their own lives and trying to save patients from this pandemic. I hope the world starts to heal sooner than later. Thank you very much for your time, Doctor.
Thank you again.